I am coming to you live from New York. And this is Signs of Light. I'm so happy to be here. I haven't been on, I believe it's been a whole week. So much has happened to me. As you can see, I have a whole new set right now, which I find very peaceful. It brings out the inner peace. And I have colored lights. And I am excited today because we have a guest and we have some topics. We have Medium Kirsty, and she's coming from the UK, and she is going to share with you and I at the same time all about what she does. And we are also going to cover today unexplained anomalies, phenomenon, synchronicity, and types of aliens. Now, before we get to that, I have a disclaimer. I am not a medical professional. I give healing tips to inner peace and personal serenity. My holistic modalities include I'm an intuitive wisdom coach, a Reiki master, and an ordained minister. What exactly are those? Those are modalities for me that help me to engage and have helped me to engage with being more compassionate and more filled with light to help and heal others. And that is my mission. And that's why I'm here. And that's what this show is all about. However, we do cover topics and we have guests that are related to myths and legends and the supernatural and paranormal. Like on Thursday, we have Bigfoot hunter investigator Rick Relez, and he's coming from, I think it's North Carolina, and he does Bigfoot encounter weekends, so that should be exciting. Now, before we get to our guest, and I'm going to share with you who she is, I just want to say, bright light shines on us. Every thought is very powerful. We are all part of a whole. Your pain is my pain, and my pain is yours. Karma is a cycle of cause and effect. Now, the sacred knowledge that I impart on you is to connect to a light source, which I'll share, engage with nature, and record your sleeping dreams for the universe to guide you on your ultimate destiny. Okay, oops, forgot these. So Kirsty, the medium, is going to be joining us in exactly 7-8 minutes. And before she joins us, I'm just going to share with you who exactly she is and what is it that she does. Now, fortune tellers grew in folklore. The Romani people, late 17th century, known as gypsies. They traveled the world, and I'm sure you're familiar with what gypsies were and are. And they were the people that traveled sometimes with, you know, a circus or on their own, and they might have traveled in a horse-drawn carriage, and they had crystal balls. And gypsies traveled the world telling people their future. And they spoke to ghosts and spirits, and they gave seances. Now, sometimes it's dismissed by skeptics. Although in 2019, Newsweek published, and this is according to a US Gallup survey, more than 1/4 of people believe humans have psychic abilities such as telepathy and clairvoyance. A CBS poll said a majority of Americans, 57%, say they believe in psychic phenomena such as ESP, extrasensory perception, telepathy, or experiences that can't be explained by normal means. Now, a lot of what I talk about is covered under that umbrella, I would say, which is unexplained phenomenon, right? So Kirsty McGregor-Burns is a spiritual medium and mentor. And this is exciting for me because I don't usually, this is an exception, I don't usually intertwine myself with mediums. As I've told you, you know, when you open up a channel, and maybe it's a portal that someone has, or they're actually a vortex made of matter, a being that's a vortex. Mediums usually are that. And so they connect to all of these different dimensions. So Kirsty is one of those. Now, Kirsty is the founder and president of the Spiritual Mission in 2 areas. She's from the UK. She's a lovely, lovely girl. She's a passionate activist, fundraiser, and humanitarian. She connects you with your loved ones in the spirit world to provide evidence of life eternal so that some comfort and upliftment may be found in the fact that our loved ones never truly leave us. So this should be exciting for me. Maybe she'll give me like a little reading, or she'll say I have somebody around me. I don't know. It's going to be exciting to find out. And she says that, this way, when you know that your loved one's around you, you can connect to them more easily, right? I mean, I guess, I don't know what that means exactly. Maybe she means you can speak to them or dream about them. I've had what they call it a spiritual, it's in a dream when someone who's passed visits you, a visitation. I've had spiritual visitations in my dreams. I don't know if you have. In other words, people that have passed. Like I have a very, very close woman who is my voice coach, Liz Dixon. She's visited me most recently. I don't know if that's the case for you, but Kirsty will be joining us in a few minutes, and she will be explaining to us what she does as a spiritual medium. If you have any questions, I'd love for you to join the chat. I am gonna, she can't join us other than she'll be on video chat and I'll hold it up and she can talk to you. And if you put in a question, I bet she can connect to you and tell you if there's anyone that is around you. I had a friend of mine, Evelyn, who actually introduced me to Kirsty. Evelyn is from Scotland, and she did that I guess it was maybe 2 weeks ago. She could connect to someone on chat. So maybe that's something that you would like to do is to message. So I'm going to put in here in the message box, Medium Kirsty, so then that way everyone knows who exactly is joining us. So anyway, I hope that everyone out there had a wonderful weekend joining us momentarily. So, I said to you that I was spending time regrouping, and I kind of was like flat on my back for a few days. And what did that mean for me? That means that I'm highly sensitive at that moment, which means that I kind of go into like isolation mode, except for my daughter. And my daughter and I kind of are similar, where if we work really, really hard, then we have to have quiet time after that. And I guess last week I had Peter Hansen, angelic channeler, and he's a big success, and he spoke about aliens, so I've done some research on the aliens he spoke about. I did on my own already find out about the Greys, the Nordics, the Tall Whites, the Reptilians, the Hopkinsonville Goblins, and a few others. And there's MUFON, which is the Mutual UFO Network. And if you would like to go on there, it's fascinating. You can go on to MUFON. I think it's MUFON.net. And it's the world's largest and oldest civilian investigation and research organization. It was established in 1969. If you go on to MUFON, you can see like the most current alien sightings. And let me show you, I have a couple of pictures. Actually, I'm pretty excited. Like, here's some pictures of different aliens, right? And I thought this was really cool, this photo, because it has all the different types. Like, I don't know who she is. Maybe she's a Nordic alien or a tall white. A tall white is a humanoid in appearance, 8 to 10 feet tall, tall, slender, white, blue eyes. That might be that. This might be a gray alien. This might be a goblin alien. I don't know. Like I really. This might be a reptilian alien. Can you see, everybody? And so I looked into these aliens, but back to MUFON. I'm going to be talking about on Thursday this report that I have read about, and it was written by this intelligence officer, Frank Milburn, and it took me a while. It was 58 pages long, and it took me a while to read it because it was so much to absorb, and it covered a span of so much information that I don't even know how much reading and history he has behind him. Like, for example, I'll show you. This is very interesting. This is an alien timeline. So I want to show this to you. You can see. And this is pretty informative. This is by a man named Joe Nichols. And on here, it kind of starts with 1947, which is, we know when that was. That was the Roswell crash of 1947. Anyone out there, Kirsty from the UK will be calling any minute. I would say in the next 1 to 2 minutes. So I will interrupt whatever I'm talking about. I'm just filling the time because I don't want to lose you. I want you to stay on board with us. And so this timeline talks about, it just kind of gives otherworldly creatures, and it goes from the 1947s to current and all the things that have happened since then, if you can see that. And even, which I think is funny, I think Bigfoot's on here. I saw some, this looks like Bigfoot. And it all seems to be related paranormal. I mean, this phenomenon of UAPs, UFOs, Bigfoot, there's always something that surrounds it. Like, I hear light, I hear balls of light, I hear orbs, and I don't know if it's that it's coming out of time and space somewhere, if it's time traveling. Oh, hi, Manifest More. Hey, how are you? Nice to see you. I'm so glad you're here. Manifest More, I'm so glad. So Manifest More, I have Kirsty, a medium, who's about to call in. And she's going to be sharing with us. She's going to be sharing with us. Oh, here she is. Hi, wait, hold on. I'm getting you. Hello. Hi, Kirsty. How are you? So I'm going to share with everybody who you are. There she is, right? And she's coming. And now, Kirsty, are you coming? You're friends with Psychic Evelyn, correct?
Yep, that's right.
Let me just turn it up to make sure that I have it on high volume. And so, are you also, where are you from?
I'm a town called Port Glasgow, which is 29 miles from Glasgow. That most people know that. Know Glasgow rather than Port Glasgow. I'm in a small town 29 miles outside there on the west coast of Scotland.
And so, so did you meet just so that I know where, you know, how it all transpired? Did you meet Evelyn through your work, or are you you know, friends with her? How'd that happen?
Yeah, I met Evelyn a number of years back on a workshop. I think it was we did. I can't even remember what the workshop was, and you just hit it off with some people. That's basically what happened, and we since went on to a mentorship thing, and we've remained friends ever since. Really good friends, actually. Nice.
So, okay, Kirsty, this is an exception for me, and I have to tell you, because like I've shared with everyone out there, that I am so extremely extrasensory, sensitive person, and I'm empathic, and I have my own, you know, abilities, not like something like you or Evelyn. However, when I'm engaging with something like this, I know that you are kind of a vortex or some kind of being that is able to go, like, channel out. And you are a brave soul to be doing this. And so I never know what's going to come through. And so could you tell us, like, can you walk us through what your experiences are, or if you would like to share with us, you know, what happens or how it goes for you?
I'll waffle a bit, okay. All right, so basically how it works for me is, I've always been mediumistic my whole life, although you don't really know how to work with it properly, or you don't fully understand what you are till later on in life, to the point where being what I am have made me incredibly ill at one point, because you don't understand that you're picking up the energies or sensing the things of other people around you. So yeah, development took a large part in where I am today. For the last 7 years, I've been doing what I do professionally, serving churches and doing events and things like this, just wherever I'm asked to go, really. I take it as a sign from spirit, that's where they want me to be. So, and how it would work for me is being a medium. So we are all psychic, we all have a psychic ability. It's scientifically proven that we're always prepared for a thing that's going to happen. We all have that intuitive ability. Whether people tune into it or not is up to them. You can enhance it, develop it. It's like a muscle. It needs worked with and practiced with to become stronger. But we're not all mediums. So for me, when I am working, I connect with the spirit world. How that would work for me is basically I will sit and I say a prayer. I'm big on prayer. I say a prayer and I open up my aura, so it's to do with my breathing, and in my mind's eye I'll push my aura out. I'll also open up my crown chakra so that I'm ready to work with the spirit world, and in that way I'll ask them for a calling card or a sign that they're around me, and usually I can feel or sense that spirit are somewhere around. Sometimes for me, like right now, it's a shiver that comes from my toes to my head and back down again, and I know they're around. I sense, so I'll know if they're male or female on each side of me, or they're younger, they're standing behind me. That's how it basically works for me. It's energy. Very much I start with feeling, is how I work. So very clear, sentient to begin with, but along the way, I mean, I do see and I do hear, so I'm clairaudient as well. I do the tasting, the smell, everything, all my senses, but I always start with the feeling of the spirit world around me. Again, it's just to do with opening up and just saying that I'm a clear and open channel. I'm ready to work, and allow me to be of service to the spirit world, to be able to validate that life is eternal, and the proof that life does go on and our loved ones are very much around us. But I hope that's answered your question. If not, you could ask me something else. But
oh, you totally answered my question. I appreciate you being so articulate and explaining it so that, you know, it sounds like you fully embrace it.
100%.
Yeah.
I love it.
And it seems like, to me, I'm trying to hold you up so that everyone can see you. I'm receiving from you that you're just really, really in abundance with helping others, and you really have a very good spirit. And I think, to me, I'm sensing that you're someone that is very set on your boundaries when you do this. So you are protecting yourself when you do this. You're not, you know, like, I wouldn't even know where to begin. It sounds like you're very, very experienced at that. Now, when you said to us, you mentioned that you had spirits around you, or you sense, are you talking about yourself? Or are you talking about the fact that you're actually coming in contact with all this energy through the computer, us? Is that what you were talking about? Or are you talking about the spirits around you that you just normally have?
No, so like some people know who their spirit guides are.
Right.
For myself, I don't really know who like certain spirit guides are, although I have had one appear in a photograph. I'm through doing some trance work. There has been kind of a face appeared. It was back up to what was picked up. However, for me, if I open up to work with spirit, I ask for my own people in the spirit world, my own family and loved ones, to help me connect with the good communicators and help open up their channels and guide them for them to be able to work with me. And when I sense spirit, if I was to read someone, so like even online or in person, then I would feel spirit beside me, so they work with me that way, so that I can feel their presence. After I feel their presence, it would very much, it just flows, it just comes in, so I'm no longer, although you're in your conscious state, you're working in a high vibration, so it's a high energy level. So I have to bring my energy up for them to connect with me as well. So I have to stay in that good state in my mind and in my day as well. So so I kind of feel the energy and then I'll work with it. And as soon as I'm working with it, the stuff just flows in. That's how it works. Sometimes while I'm working, I can feel spirit, they come in really close, really fast, but I am absolutely 100% okay with this, because I love what I do. I know that it's absolutely love, it's all good experiences, and I know I'm completely safe. And talking about the opening up to work with spirit thing was along the way, and me becoming a medium or discovering this is what I was, working with spirit, I didn't have a really good start into this. But I was what I was known as, well, and we call it the movement, the spiritualism movement. I was known and obviously recognised as a natural medium who had the ability. I wasn't there to actually learn how to have the ability. I was already doing the thing, although maybe not in such a professional manner. So where I was already doing this, you know. When I came into it, because I was so sensitive, it got to the point where it's like I turned the light switch on and detected I discovered who I was, and therefore at night I was getting woken up with different noises and things, so I wasn't shutting myself off again. So now that I've put so much into my development over the years, it's my complete focus, my absolute love. It's like I am in love with what I do, not just love it. And because it's been that way, I only work when I'm working. I don't walk about the streets giving people messages. I've got a lot to read as well. You know,
it's like, it's do you have, I don't know why, but when I'm speaking, it's like, and now it's stopped. Maybe because I had the phone too close to me. Okay, when you got on with us today, you know, there's viewers right now. Do you sense any spirits right now? Is there anything that's coming through to you from anybody anyone that's here, that's joining us?
Well, I can't really see who's here. So I could absolutely just build up an energy, but it's always good for the medium to have validation. So when I'm working on a church platform, or if I'm doing a live, I'll have a list of names, or on a platform I'm drawn to colour, or what people are wearing really, or what spirit drag me, like their energy, people's energy, I'll get drawn in, and it's like, can I work with yourself? Yes. And that's where I start working. So for me to say, am I feeling anything? Spirit are always around us. They're always just another realm. So it's like they're always around us. But to say, can I connect with anyone? I don't have a list or anybody here to connect with other than myself.
Do you sense any spirits around me?
Well, I can feel a gentleman's presence standing next to me right now while I'm speaking to you, but I haven't asked them any information as yet.
Oh, you want to try that?
Sorry?
Would you like to try and see if there's any information he'd like to offer you?
If you like, yeah.
Yeah, why not? Until someone comes through.
Okay, so all I ask, I tend to work quite quickly, so all I ask is for validation of yes, no, or don't know. You should never ever, and for anybody that's listening, give any medium more than that. They're there to give the evidence, it's their job. We call it don't beat the medium. Alright, but I do feel as if I have a gentleman that's standing on my right hand side here. That's where I'll feel the male energies and the females on the left.
Okay.
But I do feel as if this male energy connects in with the mothering energy on the left hand side. So I know this male connects into mum's side of the family, alright? And I know that this male, as he comes forward, as he builds his energy, he feels as if he's a larger man, he's got a larger build. I'm not overly large, but I feel he's very well built, very well structured man. He has a presence as he comes forward, and as much as he's very well built, he also feels almost like the gentle giant type of person as he's coming forward here. He is family linked to you. I wanted to say dad, I'm not sure if he's dad, he could be granddad, but he's in mum's side. If you understand him this way, would you be able to connect with that?
Okay, so yes, I think I know who it is.
Okay. I'll just keep going with it if that's all right.
Yeah.
I don't check in so that you know. There's some mediums don't check in, they keep going, but we've all got our different ways. Okay, I know as this gentleman comes forward from a higher side of life, I know that as he's making himself known, I know that he's got quite a cheery face. I know that this, and cheery would be smiley. I know as this gentleman comes forward as well, that he is, he has got a bit of a tummy, I've got to say. He has got a bit of tummy on him here, and I know that when he laughs, he's got a good belly laugh going on as well. He's got quite a loud laugh, and it's almost like when he laughs, it makes others laugh as well, even when the joke was over, that kind of thing.
Okay.
This man brings me to either what I would call as a lodge here, alright? I don't know what you would call it where you are, but to me it's like somewhere it's built and made of wood. And I know that the sitting outside this is very relevant to him as well. And I know that when he's sitting here, it's like I'm quite in a, I would call it in a country setting, although I don't see anything else around about it, alright? But I just see like green, it's like trees and green, and that is what he's showing me. I know that I'm outside, I know that I like to spend my time, he spent my nights outside, so I know that he would sit out here to find some quiet time himself as well. I know when this man, he's telling me he's well educated about things, he's a very curious man, and he would delve into things to find out about them. He's telling me you're quite similar, obviously you do this, so you know, I don't want to say like make things up, but I know that he would quite delve into things and all that. I know when this gentleman comes forward, it's almost like he was found passed away on his seat, is how he makes me feel, alright? There's something to do with the breathing condition as well that he's given me, but I feel the heart's connected in here for some reason with him, alright? I don't know what he's saying there. But I don't know if you have a Christopher link, the name Christopher links in somehow. If you can't think of it, it's all right. Like sometimes that happens. It could be me that's offering my interpretation, but that's how it is. He's coming forward to me. This gentleman feels as if he wasn't an active man in life. He was pretty much sitting on his seat or going to do what he had to do, but you would find him not far from home as well. That kind of thing. I feel as if he's kind of like, he would do something if you asked him, but if you didn't, he would sit there. That's how he's making me feel here as well. All right. Would you understand this, gentleman?
So far, except the name, but that stumped me. But I'm just going to ignore the name thing. Like I don't know what that means. With me, they never come and tell me my name is. They just tell me a name. Sometimes, on occasion, I've had that tell her it's such and such, but not often. They just give me names, so I don't know if it's their name. But if it's not theirs, it's connected in with you and him. It could be a friend, it could be a neighbour, it could be another family member, but he's just mentioning someone. He can even mention people that's here, but I don't know you, I don't know your family, and because I work with spirit, I can only give what they give me. So, and I do go back and I'll say, and who is this? You know, but they don't always give me it. Yeah, I think, it's funny when you're on this moment, you're going so fast, I'm trying to absorb everything. It's like that's kind of, I know when I get off later, everything's going to kind of piece together, because here I am trying to I'm actually experiencing not a viewer. I mean, yeah, exactly. I'm just part of it. So I think later on, I'll hear, I mean, it's very emotional when you do this, when you give a reading. I mean, I'm sure everyone cries, don't they, or they have some kind of emotional impact when you're sharing all of this with people.
Well, not everyone, but sometimes it happens. And I used to get really awkward about that. But I understand that crying is a healing experience.
Right.
It's letting go of emotions, so it is a good thing anyway. Can I keep going with something?
Yeah, no, keep going. Sure. I'm not stopping you.
I don't want you to think I'm being ignorant though, it's just because I pick things up. I know that the 14th of November is a very significant date as well. Would you understand this?
I'm not sure of this person's birth date, so I'd have to find out, but it's possible.
Right. Okay. But I do feel it is a birthday that I want to mention as well. All right, it is definitely to do with it's to do with a birthday that I want to mention there as well.
Okay.
Would you understand who Michael is? This side of life, so in the physical side of life.
Oh, wait a second. Okay, keep going.
Would you understand who that is? Because this gentleman has just said that name to me.
Yes. What about Michael?
Yeah.
What about Michael? Yeah.
Is he the guy that wears the waistcoats?
Waistcoat? I don't know what that means.
So if you were wearing a male's three-piece suit. And
I don't know. I'm not sure because I haven't seen Michael in a long time.
Right. Okay. Because he's just making reference to this gentleman, this side of life. But I feel that it's just a mention, so it's just like a hello from the spirit world, really. That is what's coming forward. And also the month of May has a significance to a female's birthday. Would you understand this?
See, if you just keep going, then because I think when I look back at this, it's all going to kind of throw me down on the floor because I'm going to be shocked with all this. So just keep going. Just keep. Do you know what I'm saying? Because right now in this moment, it's like my mind's kind of blowing up. So okay. So you're saying May is. I'm just saying.
I feel as if when this gentleman comes forward from spirit, it's to do with, and I don't know if he's connected with Michael in some way, but I just feel as if that he's more kind of, that someone can't quite get over that they never seen this gentleman before he passed as well. There wasn't a lot of contact. It was like they didn't get to meet up, they didn't visit, or there was some form of distance between two people. And I feel as if I just want to be like, it's okay, don't worry about that, you know. But he does also make me feel that when he's passed, he was on his own, and it caused quite a bit of upset within a family because he was on his own. But it's like it's just like, when it's your time, that kind of thing. He tells me he lived a good life. He lived life quite much the way he wanted to, and that he said it wasn't that busy, but it was a peaceful life. That's how he gives it to me. He had a peaceful life. He keeps saying ranch. Is it a ranch or something? Do you understand that? Is it in the middle of somewhere? The ranch?
Are you sure that this person's on my mother's side? You said my mother's side, right?
Well, I could have got that wrong, but he's definitely everything else. Everything else it's all him.
Okay. The ranch, I don't know about the ranch. I'm not sure.
He's also mentioning there's a baby, there's a child in the spirit world, a little boy that had been lost into the spirit world. Do you understand the baby that he's mentioning?
Really?
If you don't, it's all right. Don't stress yourself out.
No, it's that this is all like. I really stepped in it when I said, "Why don't you do a read on me?" I had no idea. I'm like, there's a baby. Wow, a boy. That I'm. Okay, so if it's a boy.
I'm not sure anyone would actually know for definite it's a boy, but there would have been a baby lost to the spirit world. It never touched the earth plane, so it would have been a wee baby that would have been lost through miscarriage of some form. But he's telling me the baby boy has got him on his knee.
Okay, so now that's all going together for me. Really?
And when spirit tell you the sex of a baby, if you didn't get to know this side, you would already, your intuition would be telling you that was a boy.
Right.
He's confirming what you would already know.
I'm going to cry right now what you're saying because...
And would you understand the pocket watch that's still here belonging to the gentleman in the spirit world?
Yes. Okay, now I know everything's coming together now. Okay, yes, I would know the pocket watch.
If you flip the clip, it actually pops up rather than you have to open it. It pops up, they said.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
Like it springs open, the pocket watch.
It pops open.
Yeah.
Yes, it pops open.
Yeah. And he's making reference to that as well. Well, right, so he's just saying that this is him just giving you evidence that he's around, he sees what's happening, and he knows it's there. Because he tells me it's still in good condition, this pocket watch as well. I think it's still ticking. I don't know if it has actually had a battery change or it's just still ticking, but he's telling me it still goes. And I know that when he's showing me that, he's giving me like it's at I'm going to say 1:45, but I feel as if I'm just leaving 15 minutes to 2, as if the hand's just coming past the 1:45. All right. That he's showing me where it's sitting at as well. All right. It's just we always try to see if Spirit have a message before we end our readings, and I feel as if this gentleman is saying to me, keep it simple. Small steps and keep it simple.
Okay. When you said the name Chris, are you sure that it wasn't Christmas?
No, it would have been the name, unless that's a name, but no.
Okay.
Do you understand that? Can you take it if I just totally messed you up?
No, you didn't mess up at all. I'm like getting emotional. I'm trying to hold it together. Like I just...
Did you just plant some sunflowers as well?
What?
Did you just plant some sunflower seeds?
Sunflower seeds. No, I didn't. Why?
Or you something to do with sunflowers I have to mention being significant?
Okay. Well, that would be very internal because I visualize, one of the things that I do is I always visualize a field of flowers. And so if they're yellow flowers, so that's very personal though. That wouldn't be, I don't know if anybody in the spirit world would know that.
Well, Spirit know everything, they know everything. Spirit don't connect with us. Spirit connects with our energy and our thoughts and our mind. Like, we don't need to speak out loud to them for them to know what we are thinking. That's how they connect to me too.
Okay.
So I have a gentleman sitting next to me just having a conversation. It's snippets and pictures and tastes and smells and sounds and just everything. And like, if somebody was to tell you a story and say, picture this, and you can see it all in your mind, that's how it works for me as well.
Right.
So that's called mental mediumship. But along the way where you're saying, could that be Christmas? That is like, there is people in this world that will make that fit into that so that they're right. I work with precision, so that isn't, I wouldn't make it.
Got it. I'll have to kind of, like I said, go back through, but no, I don't want it to be that you're making it up. to fit that. I didn't tell you anything. I thought that it would be better if you didn't know me before you came on, because I don't know, I just thought it would be more pure for you.
Yeah.
So, can we stop, because it's like too much. This is too much for me emotionally. Can we focus on one of the viewers? I can't.
I'm so sorry.
I can't do it anymore. Like, I really can't, because it's too much for me. Let me just, I'm going to turn it around so that everybody can see you. And so here's Kirsty. And so Kirsty just did a reading on me, and you know, like, it's like anyone who gets a reading from a medium, what does that kind of feel like? And I wasn't prepared for it. I thought maybe we'd have somebody come through on the chat and ask for one. Is there anyone out there who'd like a reading from Kirsty right now? So until someone does do that, Kirsty, can you tell us, like, some of the things that have happened to you, like anything you would like to share related to when you do open up the floodgates of being a channel? Are there any kind of paranormal experiences that you've had that you feel comfortable with sharing with our viewers today? Because I know, like, I've been watching some of these, I don't know if I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to kind of give you the context of where I'm going with this. So lately I've been watching some of these shows on demand, and I'm not really keen on the paranormal things that are, you know, whether or not it's scripted or not, but the real experiences that people face if there's, you know, some kind of phenomenon going on, and is it a portal? Is it a, you know, is it something stuck in time and space? Is there anything that you can share with us from your experiences being a medium that you feel comfortable with?
You can absolutely ask me anything at all. I'm a very open and honest person in all aspects of life, and that's the only way anybody gets clarity and learns is by living their truth. And I very much do, and everybody that knows me knows what I say is what I mean. When working with spirit and speaking about the spirit world, and this is no disrespect to absolutely anyone, we all work in our own ways. For me, I don't talk in terms of portals and the paranormal shows that's on TV. They're great for entertainment, but in real life, that's not real. I mean, it's like, it's bigged up, it's exaggerated for the media as well. Right. There is one series that was on Netflix, that was called Surviving Death, and it's true accounts of mediums, very well experienced mediums giving their accounts of working with spirit. It was very, I mean, I'm absolutely recommending it that want to watch it. There's also stories of people with their experiences and stuff. For myself,
are you talking about near-death experiences? Is that what you're referring to, when they die and return? Some
of the people on the show had that experience. It was like episodes with different genres, what we call it, on it, to do with the spirit world. Right. But for myself, so like, I used to really like love watching these things until you learn about it all yourself and your own experiences. I have never really experienced anything other than pure love and a proper high buzz of energy working with spirit. I think as well, in respects to energy, so if we think about in terms of the law of attraction and what you send out and what you focus on and what you feed emotion to, it will very much attract it back, and it will grow in that term. Working as a medium and working with the energy of the spirit world, if you have your loved one coming in and trying to make themselves known to you, and say an object in your house falls, that can go one of two ways, and this is the way I think about it. You can either say, oh, that's my mum making herself be known, or you can say, oh my God, what's happening? This house is haunted. And you tell somebody else.
The house is haunted.
Those arms and legs. Then the media want to make a story, and the next thing we've got a poltergeist, right? So a lot of this is a lot of things can be explained. If there's phenomena in a house...
Sounds like you're a skeptic. Sounds like you're a skeptic in your own industry. Right?
You don't believe everything, do you? Like, I believe what my experiences have been, because it's happened to me.
Right.
I believe the experiences of people that I trust. However, I know a lot of people, when they do what I do, they make it something that it's not, to make themselves look more interesting.
Right.
And that's not being disrespect, it's just truth. Like, it's absolute truth. Being skeptic, it's not really, you should question everything, really, you know. And we're very powerful beings, we're very sentient, powerful beings ourselves. We do have that ability to make things move if we wanted to as well. So
Wait, we can make things move with our mind? Are you talking about telepathy?
Is it not called telekinesis or something? I don't really do jargon.
What?
When I was a young girl and I was in a really turbulent time emotionally, I came home and I was so upset, bad relationship, so upset. I was feeling love, anger, everything on this big ball inside. I had went into the kitchen and my mum had said, make yourself a cup of tea, as mums do, that's the cure. So I went into the kitchen and just did that, and when I was in there, and I just remember feeling this whole lost, completely emotional, mad way inside. And when I turned, the cup actually scraped like off the counter and went across the kitchen. Well, I went into a state of panic, and I was like, "Wow, Mum! Like, there's something happening." Yeah, my mum was panicking. She was very nervous, and she's like, "We had I grew up a Roman Catholic to begin with, and my mum had a bottle of holy water, and she was splashing me with the blessed water all over me, and I was like, oh my God," and she's saying prayers go behind me, Satan and stuff. So I had to then go to a very reputable medium in our area to have this explained, and that's when I found out what I was. And this lady has since passed into the spirit world herself, but she was well respected and well known. And that's, for me, that's where I go. I always go to the people, it's like they have the reputation for being it is what it is kind of thing, no nonsense people. And this lady explained to me that is actually how strong, I'm so sensitive to energy, and I'm so sensitive with my energy that I actually affect things around me in high states of high emotion. So it was actually me that moved the cup rather than spirit, and she did tell me that one day I would be doing this work. And I'm looking at this lady in this wee black velour tracksuit type thing, jogging, running suit, and I'm thinking, there's no, what? I'm not like that. Like, oh my goodness, I was 17 years old.
So have you, since then, if you could move that cup, like you said, have you tried to do that? Or is that purely happening when you're not trying and it's an emotional response and your body's doing it without intention?
Since that experience in my younger years, I did kind of dabble with it, shall we say, but it wasn't really like... Can I just tell you I'm diagnosed ADHD, so...
you get bored!
And I've only got things, so it's got my attention to start off with. So I did work with it. Again, it's like a muscle, isn't it? Everything you use, it has to be like, you have to practice and exercise it, so it's like, I did use it to like close a door, and there was other aspects I used it, but that was like when I was early 20s or something. I'm 43 now. After that, the only other thing that actually doesn't still happen without me trying is the electrics, anything to do with electricity. So if I was nuts, I've had light bulbs pop. I've also been on a workshop. I was on a course. It was a business study course, and the girl that was running it, she'd been doing it for 11 years, and she had never had problems with her technology. I mean, she can verify this story herself if she wanted to, but I've not seen her for ages. But I was sitting at the top of the classroom, or the room, the conference room we were in, and just at that, the laptop, everything just started going, nothing would work. She's going, I've never had this. This is before she knew what I was. And I'm like, because I'm in this course, and everybody wanted to do businesses with a fast food place or something else, and then there was me and what I am. So nobody knew what I was. so therefore I was like, it's maybe me. And I went, and she was like, no. And she just kind of laughed. And I got up and I walked to the back of the conference room, the big long table, and all the equipment started working again perfectly. And she's looking. And then I would come back down, and then the screen started going on lines and all that again. So there is that kind of aspect of things with me. Things tend to, electronics seem to go a wee bit weird at times.
Have you ever had, you know, I understand what you're saying about the electronics, because I have a friend, Mujin, and he experiences the same response to electronics, where things break around him, and so I have to be careful with talking to him, because then my technology breaks. Have you ever had a spirit contact you to kind of give you a message for someone, because it's like a friend or a family member? Or some, you know, some kind of entity from the other side, and said, like, Kirsty, you know, or like you saw them, and then it was someone from, like, in your family or a friend, because it seems to me that you're a source for the spirit world to connect that, you know, like the positive side of it. I like that you're saying that it's not, and I like that you're saying that, and it sounds like it's all true, because like you had said, you don't dabble in, like, dishonesty. You're whatever you say is real. So have you ever had a spirit really reach out to you without kind of going to them?
Yeah, it happens. But as I said, unless I'm working, I'm not working. So sometimes it's like, I can be in my bed and it's just like, right, okay, enough. And it's like just the voices, it's just the chatter, and you can just, I don't know how to explain it. I was going to say in the distance, but it's not in the distance. It's
exhausting, right? Are you tired sometimes from it?
Well, yesterday I did a service, a church service, and it was a divine service, in a spiritualist national union church, and it was quite long. And after it, I mean, I felt quite, you're always in a certain place after it, or for me, it takes me a while to come back right into my world. Like, but although I'm here, I'm not acting all strange, apart from a wee bit quiet, a wee bit distant maybe. But when I came home and I had a cup of tea, I started to feel really, really tired after it. Which does happen, because it's a blend of energy, isn't it? You're using your energy to connect with a very high vibration of energy in order to give out the messages, and you're being a professional at the same time, so there's a lot of personal responsibility. You have to be very respectful, and when you're working with people's loved ones, especially in a public setting, in a private setting, it's a wee bit more different. You can go into things a wee bit more, but yeah, I did get very tired from that. But all in all, I love it, and I get a really good buzz from it. It's like an energy buzz from it. I come away feeling quite elated sometimes, and energized in a way, I suppose.
I sense it's interesting, because I don't know if you were completely shut down when you contacted me, because I had no idea who you were. It was like the judgment that I came from, which I'm not a judging, but I'm saying the energy that I sensed about you is literally not who you are at all. So I don't know if you're really good at blocking the channels, but I have to say that I am so impressed with how your abilities and your framework of your work, and how obviously you are so sincere and authentic with your clients, and your concern, and you are legit. I mean, 17 years old and you already received the gift, and then that's kind of unheard of. It usually takes people a lot later in life to figure this out.
Well, it took me a lot later in life to actually figure it out completely, because I didn't understand all this. I didn't understand the mechanics. I didn't know what you'll be doing this work was. To me, like going to a medium was like a fortune teller or something, and it was completely different. We build things up through what the media tries to portray it to be,
right.
or what in a book. And it's very, what I do, the aspect of what I do is more of the religious aspect as well. So I do class myself as a spiritualist religion-wise, and when I'm giving readings, I'm giving a service. There's a lot of people out there that will say they're doing it for entertainment purposes,
right.
but what I do very seriously. I'm fully insured for what I do because of that. I make sure I cover all bases. There's other people out there that aren't doing it, like, so they'll use like tarot cards and things, and they'll say it's for entertainment purposes. I use cards as well. I can use cards too. Angel cards, everything. With readings and all that as well. And where you said that I came across as different in whatever I do, I'm very straightforward, but I'm a very busy individual in my life. I do many things. I'm always ADHD. I'm always busy in my mind, so I'm always doing things. But yep, I like to keep myself occupied in my mind as well. But I'm a very much, the proper terminology would be humanitarian, and it's not headed or ego-driven. It's the correct terminology. I'm a huge fundraiser, like huge. I'm saying that as if I raise lots and lots. It's not that. I get involved with raising money a lot of the time and volunteering and things like that. But I do lots of different things to be of service. You came here to be a being of love, to work with the God energy and be of love and be of service.
Right.
So that I live my life in a way that when I am given a service or that I am doing a spiritual address, I'm speaking from my heart. I'm not preaching to people. I'm walking away living my life a different way.
Right.
Who I am
right.
is I speak from my heart. I don't read from a textbook. That's who I am.
Kirsty, I want to say, thanks for kind of differentiating between what you do and which is you're deeply connecting to spirit, and you're not doing it like you're doing a fun party where you're kind of giving readings, which I've done some of that myself. But I like that, it really is a gift for you because and you're sharing it, because I think that it's so meaningful to people, because when we lose someone, sometimes the person is passing before we want, not before we want them to, but before it's, we sense that it's their time, but obviously it is, that's when they're passing, and we're not ready. So I think that, someone like you is so helpful, because you can help us who are still in the living world to feel like some kind of closure and feel, feel something that brings, I guess, more love into our heart. And that's beautiful to be able to do that, because I think all of us, unless you're a little child, I hope it's not true, but we've all lost people before we're ready. And I just came up with some. So you can't ask them on command to ask for anybody, can you? No.
No.
It has to be who comes through.
It is people who will say, who do you want to hear from? In that respect, if someone says that to you, they are then reading your energy, because you're now thinking of a certain person, putting that into my mind, and you're going to focus on them.
Yeah.
If that was the case, I would have a hotline to my own parents every day.
You're so funny.
Like that. As you said, and I will explain that a lot of people get into the development circles or into mediumship because they've lost their loved ones. They're hoping to receive some form of communication from their loved ones. For me,
really?
That's not why. I was getting told to get development, because if I didn't, it was going to take over and destroy me, which it was just, my mental health was awful, because I didn't know what I was really fully or understand it. But I'm not exempt from grief myself. I mean, I lost my own dad suddenly when I was 10 years old, and then I lost my mum 2 years ago, coming up for 3 in December, and I've lost countless friends through tragedies and illnesses, and at young ages as well. I've came through a lot of life experience for a 43-year-old lady. I've probably lived about 3 lifetimes with experiences, but you'll find that mediums have lived a lot of lives, have had a lot of trauma, they've had a lot of experience, but that's how they can then connect deeply with other people. That's what makes a good all-round medium. They can connect with people on a level, because when spirit work with you, they work with your filing cabinet, so you understand connections, or you understand feelings, or you understand the relationship, or do you know what I'm saying? It's very much how it works for me anyway. But I'm not exempt from that, and I mean, I would say I'm still grieving quite a lot over my mum, although every day you become, it's like accepting, but there is times when I'm shouting at her picture or her photograph, where are you? Where are you? I need you, and wear bits and pieces of her jewellery and things to keep her close and ask for her guidance, so it's not that we have a hotline at all, it's not that kind of way.
Right. I mean, it's funny because, everyone, you said earlier that everyone kind of, I don't want to say interprets, but everyone has their own personal experiences when it comes to being in this kind of field, and everyone's way of getting there is so different. And it's not to say there's a right or wrong. It's just very personal. Like how I connect is different than how you connect, and everyone else. There's hardly any similarity. And I'd like to change the subject and ask you a question about, have you ever, I don't know if you believe in angels. I mean, I have a wall right here that has an angel painting on it. Have you ever experienced angels or spoken to angels, like communicated with an angel, or seen any angels, like beings of light?
It depends what you mean by angel and being of light. We connect with angels on a daily basis.
Okay.
You probably won yourself by spreading kindness in the world. There is such a thing as an earth angel,
right.
And that's what we would describe as good people being. To talk about the archangels and things, yes, I do have a belief system in them. Some people that are in the spiritualist side of things and the religious side of it don't fully believe in these higher spiritual beings. It's more to do with you evolving personally and things, but for me, I pray to my angels. So if I'm looking for protection and seeking my cords to be cut, I'll work with Archangel Michael. And I would say he's the main man, but they are all on the same level, but they all have different jobs, but they all connect together. To say if I've seen an angel, I wouldn't say I've seen this being standing in front of me and that was an angel. I feel that angels work through sending us signs. I feel that they work through people, and they very much answer our prayers, but in order for that prayer to be answered, some people think if there was angels, then this wouldn't be happening to me. But have you asked that angel for help? Have you allowed them at base to come in? Because the angels will not overtake. They can't come in where there's free will. You have to allow them in. So if you're allowing in that presence of the angels or the spirit world even, they will send you signs, but you have to be open to receiving that.
Right.
And you will.
Right. The more you ask for it. Like I also pray to angels, and in my third eye, which now I'm actually getting farther along with that, seeing angels, and it's more like they're gesturing me rather than actually verbally connecting, verbally saying anything. It's not like they're speaking to me, but the more, it's interesting, the more that I speak of angels, then the more divine messages I'm receiving, if that makes any sense.
Yep. You will be guided, you will be divinely guided.
Right, divinely guided. I'm definitely divinely guided, and I too, I think that we're very similar, as well as Evelyn, to being, purely, our intention is to be kind, compassionate, and be a source of love and light.
Yep.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
It sounds corny, but it's true.
Well, I don't think it sounds corny at all. Maybe to the non-believer who may not have that same sense of love in their heart space as maybe we do. You see, there's different people, there's different types of people in the world. There's people as well that'll do kind things to, like the person that feeds the homeless and takes a photograph when they do it to publish it on the media. Other people that do the kindness because it becomes natural and they don't have to publish it on the media. So yeah, there's different forms of kindness, and when people's got an ulterior motive behind that, is it really kindness? I don't think so.
Okay, so I'm just gonna break into that, and you know that it's funny that you're saying this because I literally was having this conversation with myself this morning. I went down to the beach, I sat on the bench, and I was learning some new information, and it crossed my mind exactly what you're saying. However, what I came to realize is everyone comes in their own time with finding, you know, I guess a higher vibration. And if that's the way that they start, it might take them into it and then they become more of that. Do you know what I'm saying? So if they might start out by taking a picture and posting it and being like, look what I did, this is really good. And then from that, it might help them to actually, someplace inside of them, they turn and then they end up doing that kind of work for no kind of reward. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you don't believe me? You're like, no.
I'm just thinking about it. Obviously, you've got your experiences and I've got mine, and it's not about disbelief at all. I just find that I think it takes a humbling experience for a person like that. It takes for them to hit rock bottom as well, to stop feeding their own ego and do it for the right reasons. However, when somebody does post up something, I think it can be inspiring as well for others to get involved.
Exactly. Like I feel like it's going to serve some purpose, and and also it's like I don't know what they're going through for them to do that, and the outcome is going to be the same, which is they're doing something for someone else that's compassionate. So maybe their motivation isn't the same, as someone who really is, as you say, humble, as you say, compassionate and kind, but the outcome is that they're helping someone else, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You're so like, no. And I know you're saying this because you actually you're the president and founder of the Spiritual Mission. Would you like to tell us what that is?
Yeah, so basically it's like if you've visited a spiritualist church, it runs very much the same. Mine's what I do is independent, and it's called the Spiritual Mission. There is one called Port Glasgow Spiritual Mission. There is one called Linwood Spiritual Mission. That without the pandemic we're facing, we would meet up in person, and it runs very much like a service.
Right.
Because of COVID, we are online every Thursday evening via Zoom. And the reason it's called Spiritual Mission, so the meaning behind spiritual is being your most true and authentic self. People get spirituality so mixed up. It's being your most open, true and authentic self, living in truth, living with love, and just living as with the God energy within you. Living the best way that you can as a good person.
Right.
So in order to do the mission part of it, I've got a friend that says, Kirsty, you are literally on a mission. Because the mission part of it, I've always been an activist and advocate for other people to give them a voice when they don't feel as if they have a voice themselves, or they're courageous in it. I've always been the supporter to sit alongside someone to help them realise they are strong, or they have that power within them to be able to. Some people just feel a wee bit more encouraged when they've got a bit of support as well. So on the Spiritual Mission, I'm very much feeling, my mum used to say to me, Kirsty, you can't save the world. And I used to say, watch me, I'll try, and I very much try to do that. So throughout the Spiritual Mission, we have mediums just now on Zoom all over the world coming on, that we are so blessed, because that is the blessings of COVID, because without that we wouldn't be meeting
So what are you doing? What are you doing when you're staying for COVID? So walk us through that. What exactly, you have mediums online, so are you talking to people and kind of giving them some kind of positive approach? What are you mean?
Right. So the spiritual mission is where we have mediums from all over the world who now congregate each week with us. So it's one visiting medium a week. So it'll be a different medium that guests each week with the mission. And how it runs is I'll welcome everyone. So as soon as we open up at 7 p.m. UK time, I'll welcome everyone.
Yeah.
And when we welcome everyone, and the house rules, and therefore we will introduce this week's medium as whoever from whatever. And then after that, we then have the opening prayer. Oh, wait a minute, I've got my wee thing in front of me, sorry.
Tell us the format of the spiritual mission.
We therefore says, if the medium comes to you, it's a clear yes, no, or don't know. So you would unmute yourself if the medium says, can I work with yourself? So everybody's on the one screen with the medium. The medium will work either direct or build up an energy.
Oh my God, that's so much energy. That's so much energy.
We light a candle, and the medium will open us up with a prayer.
Mm-hmm.
And then after the prayer, I've got a lovely friend, Gillian Adamson, who does divinely inspired poetry. So she works mediumistically through poetry and works to inspire others and touch their hearts.
Mm-hmm.
She does that. And then we'll ask the medium for a spiritually inspiring address or talk. Mm-hmm. So something, I like the mediums not to preach, as I said. I like them to give us an inspiring story about some way spirit connects us, or kindness, something that happened to them, something real life.
Right.
After that, we would then go into their demonstration of mediumship and tell us how they work, how they connect. Is it direct, building up? Then they would just start working with people on the screen, giving the evidence, and then the sitter would be, the recipient would be yes, no, don't know. And that's basically how it works. We then get to giving thanks to the medium at the end. It runs up to 8:30. Giving thanks to the medium, we send a bit of healing, love, a prayer, or a positive intention to anyone that needs it. And I'll also add in a wee list of folk. We announce the following week's medium. I'll announce the pages that we run on, then any further business, which usually entails my fundraising page as well, where it's bonus balls and raffles and draws and things, again to raise funds. I'm raising funds for the Children and Families Unit for the mental health services who are doing play therapies for kids and families. Mm-hmm. And then I get the medium to do a closing prayer. And then after that, that's us till the following week. But it's always advertised on the page. So tonight I'll be putting up the post for this Thursday.
Kirsty, how many mediums are there that you have all of this whole group? How many of these ladies are there, or men?
It's only one every week, so I'll chair every week, but you have one visiting medium a week. There's mediums everywhere, but I only ever have one at a time in, unless I had a bit of a Halloween, we did a bit of a special, and I had 3, or was it 2 or 3? There were supposed to be 3 mediums that were on as well. Right. We'll do it as a wee bit longer, it's like a special event, but yeah.
Wow, you've really involved yourself in this. Are you a full-time medium? Are you full-time medium?
I don't sit at home and do readings all day long. That's not, it's more a vacation. It's more of my calling in life and my passion.
Right.
I do other things, I do other things to be of service, not just mediumship.
Right.
Everything leads back to the spiritual mission. Everybody knows that's like you have a brand. I am the spiritual mission. That's where I come from. Yeah.
Right. Wow. I've never really in depth spoken to a medium. I mean, I've met so many in my lifetime because I used to go into this New York City and do these fairs and give readings, and I'd meet these mediums. And then I actually know one who lives in the town adjacent to me, but I've never really you've really shared with us really a path to how you work and where you came from. And you are inspirational, and I know that, I don't know if you know how powerful your spirit is, but it's very powerful because I think you've fully embraced what you do. Now, can you give us, before you go, because I think we're almost out of time, any kind of simple tips if anyone wants to connect? Because you did say early on that you moved something across the table when you were 17 and you found out you had these abilities. Can you give us some kind of foresight into ways that we might become more intuitive or psychic?
Well, on a personal level, I joined a development circle. If you have anything like that around, it's maybe worth joining one. And getting a few people with a shared interest together to do it, to sit still, to sit in the silence and just blend with spirit world, just invite them forward. There is no...
Wait, don't go so fast. Don't go fast. So let's just go through this, because when you go through it so fast, I'm getting lost too. So you're saying you can gravitate towards a group that is similar to you. I don't know if that's possible in every area of the world, but let's say you can. But then the next possibility is for you to invite spirit into your life, which means what? That you sit down and you talk to it? Talk and say, oh, is it like a prayer? Is it like hello? What is that?
It's an intention.
An intention.
So intention to have. Some people use meditation to blend, just sit in the quiet. They call it sitting in the power of spirit.
By the way, we're talking to medium psychic Kirsty from the UK. Glasgow, is that where you're saying? Is that the town you're from?
Port Glasgow.
Port Glasgow. And so Kirsty is sharing with us ways for us to invite like a more intuitive thought process or to become more spiritual. Okay, so we would ask or pray for spirit to come into our life. Sorry for interrupting. I just want to share with anyone who's just coming on.
Yep. No, it's very much a personal thing in how you choose to blend.
Right.
Even if you join into a development circle, it is very much guidance. And I tell my own development circle, I have my own. I tell them, I can only guide you this way. You will find your own niche and what works for you.
Right.
So like some people like to meditate in silence, some people like a guided meditation, but when you go into meditation, you would do it with an intention.
Okay.
So if you were trying to blend your connection with the spirit world, you would sit, find space, ground yourself, feet on the floor.
Okay, feet on the floor.
Keep your energy up and down and just follow in and relax into your breathing. You will always be in a conscious state. You will always be in control. And it's just very much like inviting the spirit world forward. But for me, I will always say a prayer. I only work with love and remove any negativity. And now we're ready to work. And then I'll ask spirit to blend with me.
Would you like to just do a quick little 5-minute and show us how to do it and talk us through it?
If you like.
I would love you to. So I'm going to put the phone down and I'm going to try. We're going to all try this together and just see how this goes. Okay. So start from square one.
Okay. Just breathe. Just breathe. Just relax. Taking a nice deep breath and sigh it out. Feel your feet placed on the floor and feel the floor beneath your feet. And again, breathe in and relax. Keeping your body straight up and down but in a relaxed position. Don't put your head back and don't put it forward. Just sit upright in a relaxed position. Become aware of your body's own natural rhythm. do a scan from your toes, over your feet, over your bottom half of your leg, over the top of your legs and your thighs, over your seated area, over your tummy, your chest, your back, your neck, and over your head. Feel how your own energy and how your body naturally feels to you. And if you feel comfortable enough, close your eyes or find a spot on the wall that you can focus on. Fall into your natural breathing state. Now you become aware of how your body feels to you in its natural state. And become aware of how you feel as a person. Every vibration, every pulsing state, every pain, ache, everything that is yours you're feeling now. And before we open up to working with spirit and sensing their energy, you should sense the energy just around you just now. How does it naturally feel? Not searching, not looking, just how it feels to you. And again, breathe a gentle breath. And before we open up, just send out a prayer to the spirit world that we are working with only the high vibration of love, with the white light and the protection around us. You can invite Archangel Michael in to remove any negativity and cut any cords. And when you feel ready, take another breath. And in your mind and with love in your heart, you send an intention into the spirit world, out into the universe, and into the great divine. And you just declare that you're now ready to feel spirit draw close into your energy and to blend with yourself. As you do this, you have no expectation, you would just sit and you would wait. Some people like to imagine they're breathing in a white light of spirit energy, helping them connect, and some people just sit in the silence. But when you send out your intention, this is you now ready to blend with the energy of the spirit world. Once you send your intention, become aware of any sensations you may feel around your body. You may feel cold air, hot air, tingling, tickling, any sort of sensation at all. And if you're not sure if it's you, you would ask Spirit to remove that, wait for it to leave, and then you can invite them to bring it back. But it's all about patience, no expectations. Just be open, with an open heart, and wait. And you can sit in this experience for the length of time that's comfortable for you. You can build it up over time, or you can sit for as long as you're comfortable. And now for the purposes of this evening, I will now say to you to become aware of your breath again, to breathe in and feel the air coming up your nose and down through your lungs, encasing your body. Become aware of your physical body. Bring your feet, the awareness to your feet that's on the floor. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Feel yourself separating and coming back to your physical self. When you're comfortable enough, you would open your eyes or bring your focus back to the screen or back to the room that you're in. And I would always advise to take a wee drink of water, have some water available, always. And that's basically how you would connect.
Oh my goodness! Now, do you do that exercise when you do your group, your mediums?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I've never engaged with anything like that in my life, and I've done many meditations. Now, is that what is that something that is that like a more present day form of seance? Was that like what they would do on a seance kind of, or because you're connecting with the spirit world, you're relaxing, so you're actually allowing everyone to have the experience themselves rather than you kind of choreograph it?
Well, connecting with spirit's a personal experience. It's going to be a wee bit different for everyone. We all connect in different ways, different levels at different times. We're all on our own personal journey, but that wasn't like a seance. A seance, you would be sitting with others in that seance, and the energy would be building amongst everyone.
Oh.
And very much that energy is built through trust. You would sit at the same time on the same evening with the same number of people and the same environment every week or whenever it is. And that would be more the seance thing. But for that's just your blending exercise to start being comfortable with feeling spirit around you. And the more comfortable you get, the closer they blend.
Mm-hmm. Now, have you given seances? Because it sounds like you know a lot about them.
Haven't? No.
No?
I've been involved with things around that area, but for me, I'm a church medium. That's what I do. I do. When you said earlier on about being at one of the fairs, the holistic or the psychic fairs, I've done all that myself as well.
Right.
But it just depends what kind of what environment you choose to be in. That you can all different. You know what I mean? It's all different things. But in the seance aspect of things, I'm very much wary of who's involved in these things. I've sat with people in a room, and it's like when they suggest something, it builds up, somebody else believes it, they might not be seeing it. You're guaranteed I'm the person in the room going, I don't see it.
Right.
It's like, so it's kind of, people can become quite fanatics about things, and blending with the spirit world and building up a trust. It's a relationship or anything, you're building it up with each other.
You're not, it's so interesting because you're this medium and you're fully involved in it, but then you're this, I want to call you the skeptic medium, because you're like, that's not real. And then you're meanwhile saying all these things that are like, oh my gosh, what is she saying? But that's because you're grounded. And you're not like all hokey about it. It's a real thing for you. So I'll just share with you quick what happened when we did that exercise, and I was resisting it. What? Did you hear me?
This is on, you go. Yes.
Oh, so I was initially resisting it because, like I said, and I share with the viewers that I'm not open to all this channeling because I don't know what I'm going to get, and later in the middle of the night I'll get some weird thing will like visit me, and I can't take it. I can't take the weird evil stuff or the entities or whatever. And so none of that happened. I'll give a heads up on that. But what did happen for me was, it was interesting because I have done so much visualization, so much meditation, and I am someone that I am literally living that half my day. And so what I experienced was, it was funny because at first I saw like green, I saw colors at first, and I liked how you walked us through that. So anyone who just joined us, if you would like to connect to the spirit world, Kirsty, Medium Kirsty, just shared with us how to walk through it. She just did it with us. And then after that, you know, I did my intention, but then I kind of took that back. Like, do I want to meet this person or have them come to me? And I wasn't really sure if that's what I was supposed to do. Like, and then I just did what you said, where you let it go. And then it was almost like everything opened up, and I did have something present itself to me. Someone did present themselves to me, not the person that I sent the intention out for, but it was definitely a good experience, because you talked about what does the energy around you feel like. And I think when you do that, it's like being very quiet and still. All of a sudden, what's out there will just come to you naturally, and you will feel more. When you're quiet, you get everything. All your senses come alive.
Yes.
So thank you for that.
You're so welcome. And if we had like the time, it was completely devoted to something like that, I would obviously take more time to take you through that.
Oh no, it was plenty long. It was good, because I know that this has probably been a lot on you, and I appreciate you. You've been on for over an hour, and I send you thank yous and a bouquet of flowers to you. I mean it, because like really, this is something that you didn't have to share all of this with us, and I didn't even ask you ahead of time, so I appreciate you telling us up front exactly what it's like to be a medium, and you are a true blue medium, and how we can connect to the spirit world, and you have so much grace and professionalism, and I appreciate that.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And so I would like to share with everyone, this was Kirsty McGregor-Burns, who's a spiritual medium psychic, and she's coming from the UK. Now, Kirsty is on social media, and you can find her on Instagram. I will post on here what is your website, Kirsty? You want to tell us right now, and I'll put it on the chat?
I don't even have a website, but I have a page on Facebook.
Okay, there you go. Facebook page.
Kirsty McGregor-Burns, Psychic Medium and Mentor.
So it's Kirsty McGregor. Say that again, because I want to write the right thing.
Kirsty McGregor-Burns.
Oh, Kirsty McGregor-Burns.
Psychic Medium and Mentor.
Okay. And also, if you go to this link, you know, if you go to my link, I'm going to post it. Is there anything you'd like to share with everybody before you go?
To share with you, I would just say thank you so much for the people that's been here listening. Thank you for asking me, obviously, to yourself. It's been a lovely experience. It's been really nice to network and connect. It's always great to meet new people with shared interests and inquisitive about it all. It's lovely to be able to speak about what I love. My message to everyone is basically, I did a spiritual address last night, and it's like, we always have that opportunity to become a better person. We always have the opportunity to right our wrongs, and even in the times where we don't, we always have the opportunity to spread kindness. We're part of a Be Kind movement, but people like to just say it or copy and paste things. But the next time you ask someone, how are you? Make sure it's not just a running line of words. Take the time, hold the space, and let that person be heard. Just be kind in the moment. If someone asks for help, or if you have the opportunity to spread love and show love, even if it's small, know that it's changing the vibration, it's changing the energy of the world, and it's creating such a better place to be. And that's it. And from my heart to yours, I send my love.
Okay, well, thank you so much. And I just thought of something I wanted to ask, but I'm just going to say that I'm going to actually make a blanket statement saying that at this time and juncture in all of our lives, you know, we've all been through so much. I think it would do you well, everyone, for you to connect to Kirsty and go to her Facebook page or Instagram. Like I said, I'm going to post this. It's going to be on my YouTube page, Mary Amy Official, and you can find, you know, Kirsty that way, or you can just Google her and I'm sure you will have just the most charmed, graceful experience that we've all had here today. Thank you so much, Kirsty. And here, I'm turning you this way. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking all this time out of your day. And I know that it's late in UK. It's got to be 8:30 now? Almost 8:30. Thank you so much. And I'll text you later. It was a pleasure meeting you.
You too. Thank you so much for asking me. It's been awesome. Thank you very, very much.
Sure. Be well. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. That was something that I never had. I never did that because I've had so much fear. I mean, she talked about her religion, and I'm spiritual, but I was raised Roman Catholic, and so I know that there's some issues there. I do believe in God. I believe in angels. And she too seems to be a very good-hearted person, and only means well. It was very nice having Kirsty. If anyone wants to watch the rewatch this afterwards, I'm going to post it on Mary Amy Official on my Facebook page. It's also going to be on Twitch TV for 2 weeks, and you can go through and learn how to connect to the spirit world, and she'll tell you her experiences as being a medium, and it was lovely. So moving on today, because we have not covered much today, so let me just go into so I said, what is unexplained anomalous phenomenon? And so the granddaddy of it all is this man, and what is unexplained anomaly phenomenon? It's known as observed event which deviates from what is expected according to existing rules or scientific theory. Now, what does that fall under? Well, there's a lot of what we talk about here that falls under that. Now, this man right here, his name is Charles Fort. There it is. He was born in 1874 and he passed away in 1932. And he was a researcher of unexplained anomalies phenomenon. He spent decades of collecting 40,000 notes on unexplained phenomenon, and he's called the orthodox conventionality of science. It's known as Fortean phenomenon, and there's a lot that falls under that. And I read up on him to kind of find out, which I do, and then I read so much that I forget some of it. So this man actually, what he would do is he'd look up in all these science magazines and newspapers, and he'd look up the strangest phenomenon that was occurring. Like, for example, this is called giant wheels of light. And this is a phenomenon, an anomaly. And so this is actually a sketch of what it was. And what's interesting is, after I saw this and I heard this story, which I'm going to read to you, I said, oh my God, was that a UFO? So this comes from 1949, and the commander ship had just passed through the Strait of Hormuz into the Arabian Sea, bound for India. It was a clear, moonless night with a calm sea when the third mate called to the bridge that he saw something unusual. Off to the left of the ship, this is coming from an article about this, so I thought that I would share it directly. And these are actually the images that were connected to the article. Off to the left of the ship, between them and the coast of Iran, there was a luminous band that was pulsating. It reminded Baudelaire of the lights of the aurora, except the lights were not in the sky. Examination with binoculars confirmed that the light was actually below the line of the horizon in the water, and it was drawing closer to the ship. It also appeared that the pulsating was starting at the center of the band and flowing to the extremities. When the lights came to within a mile of the ship, it became apparent that the oddity was roughly circular in shape, with a bright, rather ill-defined center and streaks of light. You know where I'm going with this, don't you? Anyone want to say in the chat what they think this is? When the lights came to to within a mile of the ship, it became apparent that the oddity was roughly circular in shape, with a bright, rather ill-defined center and streaks of light projecting out from spokes on a wheel. So like this is the ship, and this is what was going on below the ship. And it's so funny because right now, what are we finding out about UAPs? UAPs are aircrafts, but then they're also landing in the water or diving into the water. So this was in 1949. So it was 1,000 to 1,500 feet in diameter. What had been thought to be pulsating could now be seen caused by the whole object slowly rotating counterclockwise, so that the luminous beams appeared brighter as they each pointed at the vessel, like the beams from a lighthouse. Even though Baudler's ship was steadily moving along at about 9 knots, the strange lights continued to approach and then pass underneath the ship for a short time. Baudler's ship was about in the middle of the lights, with the rotating spokes of the wheels visible on all sides, a moment that Baudler made a sketch of. So these are his sketches. The spokes of the wheel were slightly curved, and the extreme ends traveling behind in the rotation. I'm explaining anomaly phenomenon. That's what this is. The light from the object was enough to light up the entire upper portions of the vessel in the moonless night. With the rotations just below the vessel, Baudler was able to judge that each spoke in the wheel seemed to pass a set point at a half-second interval. Baudler described the situation as may well be imagined. The effect was weird and impressive in the extreme, with the vessel seeming to occupy the center of the huge pinwheel, whose spokes consisted of luminance revolving rapidly about the vessel as a hub. So it's very interesting because I think he was experiencing a UAP underneath, like that was actually moving underneath his ship at the same time. The object eventually passed all the way under, coming out on the right side of the ship towards the back. It continued to travel at the same speed it approached until it soon appeared again as a pulsating band of light, but this time to the right and the back of the ship's position. That's when the second luminous object was spotted in the distance on the right ahead of the ship. The band was slightly smaller than the first and a little less brilliant. The second wheel didn't pass under the ship. Instead of passing them slowly on the right side, where the same pattern of spokes revolving around a center could easily be observed. Finally, about a half hour after the second wheel had been seen, a third appeared. It was far less brilliant and far smaller than the other two, estimated to be no more than 800 to 1,000 feet in diameter. This is kind of exciting. I think they should make a movie about this. And as Baudler put it, compared to the other two, was unimpressive. It was first noticed that it was much closer to the ship than the other two, though it was hard to say if this was because it was closer when it came into being, or it just wasn't noticed until it was closer because it was less bright. In Baudler's report of the matter that was published in January 1952 edition of the United States Naval Institute Proceedings magazine, he stated that there was no unusual deviations of their magnetic compasses. Okay, so if there was an electromagnetic field of a UAP, wouldn't it change their compass? And that his impression was that the actual light was being caused by the natural, if I say this wrong, phosphorescence of the water itself being stimulated by the regular waves of energy, presumably from whatever constituted the center of the wheels. Baudler felt that the shape of the spokes in the wheels, their revolutions around the center, and the spread of their revolutions all exuded the visual phenomenon being caused by schools of fish or dolphins. Overall, he believed that he had witnessed a rare but natural phenomenon and was interested in hearing from others who had maybe had the same encounter. Anyone of scientific bent. Okay, so what it was this? So later on, I guess what happens is they said, was this the underwater equivalent of a UFO, which is now happening, that we're finding out that the pilots are saying that the UAPs are immersing themselves in water. So was this a UFO phenomenon? The idea that UFOs could be under the waves of the sea has been suggested before. Several reports have been recorded of UFOs seen both diving into the and flying out of the oceans. Of course, is there a civilization under the water? Is what I'm wondering. There's so much that I want to talk about. Of course, there was and no proof that Bodler's phenomenon is related to UFO reports. The association relied heavily on the popularity of UFOs. Okay, so that's interesting. Now you heard that, which you can kind of take that and compare that to what's going on right now. Now, some other very quick I'm going to share, because we're moving on to other topics like synchronicity, dreams, and alien types. So another one of this man here, which I started telling you, Charles Fort, he talked about, he's like the granddaddy of anomalies, phenomenon. And he talked about teleportation. And we're all talking now like maybe there's such thing as time travel and portals and wormholes. So teleportation, which you've seen in movies, right? I believe in Star Trek they had teleportation, and in a lot of these sci-fi, these Marvel movies, there's teleportation. And so teleportation is the act or process of moving an object or a person by psychokinesis, mental effort, instant travel between two locations without crossing intervening space. So you're traveling time and space instantly. It's instantaneous, right? Another thing that we've talked about is time travel. So maybe there is what's called a time machine. Is there a time machine? I don't know. It's possible. Anything's possible, I say. So time travel is the concept of movement between certain points in time. Analogous to movement between different points in space. I told you that I butcher words. I had a speech problem. So just bear with me. I'm doing my very best. It's not intentional. Like if I had like a sound dictionary, every word, I would be all day long. So by an object or a person, typically with the use of a hypothetical device known as a time machine. Okay, what else? Now, he also spoke of, I've mentioned before, crop circles, right? What are crop circles? So crop circles are strange patterns that appear mysteriously overnight in farmers' fields, and these circles mostly found in the UK. Some claim the very first crop circles appeared near the small town of Tully, Australia. In 1966, a farmer said he saw a flying saucer rise up from a swampy area and fly away. When he went to investigate, he saw a roughly circular area of debris and apparently a flattened reed and grass, which he assumed had been made by the alien craft, but which police investigators said was likely caused by a natural phenomenon such as a dust devil or water sprout, referred in the press as flying saucer nests. Now, modern circles in 1996, one of the world's most complex, spectacular crop circles in England across a highway from the mysterious and world-famous Stonehenge monument in Wiltshire countryside. The question was whether that intelligence was terrestrial or extraterrestrial. Another phenomenon is ball lightning. So ball lightning is an unexplained phenomenon described as luminous, spherical objects that vary from pea-sized to several meters in diameter. Though usually associated with thunderstorms, ball lightnings are said to last considerably longer than split-second flash of lightning bolt and are a distant phenomenon. Right away when I saw this and I Googled this, right away I thought of light orbs. A lot of light related to phenomenon. Okay, and I mentioned wormhole. So here we go. Here's another phenomenon. A wormhole is a speculative structure linking disparate points in space and time and is based on a special solution of the Einstein field equations. A wormhole can be visualized as a tunnel with two ends at separate points in space-time. Tunnels in space-time that can theoretically allow travel anywhere in space and time, or even into another universe. Well. So that's all Charles Fort information. And now we're going to move on. And what I'd like to do is, before we move any further, I'd like to just do a quick meditation and then a visualization. I know Kirsty shared with us her own little meditation that took us to the spirit world. If you watch this later, you can see that. So let's together do a meditation. And so let's free our mind of distractions and relax our body to allow new, fresh ideas to come forward. So let's breathe out 3 times, inhale and exhale, and release old energy before this moment. Now let's check our body for tension. So you're going to do a body scan from the top of your head, your crown chakra, to the tip of your toes. Now let's imagine that you're sitting in a forest of trees. So there's strong, vivid color. You can close your eyes if you like, if you feel more comfortable doing that, and it's easier for you, close your eyes. So you're sitting in a forest of trees, and you see the strong, vivid color of the trees. And you smell the pine and the ground beneath you, and there's a wind that blows, and you feel safe and protected. Let's feel gratitude for this. We're connecting with nature. There's a warm, yellow, golden light that surrounds you, your body, and it touches you, and it covers you, and it's warm and inviting. The longer that the light touches you, the more free you feel. You remember the last moment that brought you happiness. You see that moment and you ask yourself, why? Why did that moment touch you and you felt happiness? What exactly brought you to joy? So you connect the light, the warm, inviting light, to this memory. And the two blend, and you release a breath. Now I'd like you to take a moment to feel this, and let's remember all the details with all your senses. The colors, the smell. And then I will count backwards to 1, and you will open your eyes. 3, 2, 1. I thought I'd share that with you because I remember creating this, and I created this, and then I said to myself, what was the last moment that I had happiness? And I'll have to do it again later when I'm not on camera so that I can really have the experience. So moving on, now that we're a little relaxed, I'd like us to do a quick visualization, and then we're going to talk for a minute about synchronicity and signs of synchronicity. So again, let's relax. So we will create, with this visualization, vivid images in our mind's eye, bringing positive emotions such as joy, happiness, and hope. Blessings. Our intention today is to release pain through a source of light. Let's realize connecting your mind, body, and spirit to divine light will shed darkness in yourself and unblock your true purpose and passion. Your heart visualization begins now. Now let's please find a quiet space, sit or lay down comfortably. I'd like you to close your eyes, and together we're going to breathe, inhale and exhale 3 times. Now I'd like you to scan your body for stress. So you're going to release any thoughts or energy before this moment. Let them go. Leave your body. So scan your body from the top of your head, your crown chakra, to the tip of your toes. So let's let go of any featured thoughts that you have and that you're feeling attached to. Let them go. Let them leave the room, the space that you're in, and leave. And I'd like you to connect, and I'd like you to see and know what are the circling conversations that you're having in your mind that you can't seem to part with. And if you need to speak them out, whatever is on your mind, say them and let them go. Because when you let them go, you're bringing awareness, and at the same time you're acknowledging, and then at the same time you're letting go of any power that it holds to you. Is it a fear? What is circling in your mind? So as you do so, you're letting them go. I'd like you to connect to your heart. Whatever that means to you, do you see your heart? Do you sense your heart? Do you feel your heart? Is there pain? Is there an emotion attached that you feel it to your heart? So if you do have any pain, I'd like you to let go of that pain. So let's breathe that emotion out. Whether it be pain, something that's hurting you, someone, or something that's blocking you. Anger, if you have anger, let it go. Let that anger go. If you have a fear, let that fear go, whatever that fear is. And if you have sadness, try to let that go, so that we can make room for light and love and peace. So let all of that go. And I'd like you to identify, if you can, if there is, what is that? Now, you might have joy in your heart, you might have light in your heart, and that's beautiful. So let's try together to reach for peace and see a light. Now, as you see this beautiful glowing light that's in your heart, you're connecting to, I see it. It's pink, it's luminous, it's brilliant. It's in your heart. And you're connecting to it, and you're embracing it, and you're feeling safe in the light. And the light grows larger and larger, and it fills your body, your flesh, your bones. And you accept it, and you say, I'm allowing this light to touch every cell in my body. Now the light has grown so big and enormous that it fills your whole energy field around you. And you embrace it, and you feel safe. And you know that this light will help you bring positivity. If not for this moment, you will plant something inside of you that will grow larger. So you're going to stay in this moment, and I'd like you to check and remember what this feels like, the relaxation and the peace that you feel, and you're embracing it. And now that you know what this is like, you can have an idea of the difference between what it feels like to have it and what you don't have it. And you can go to it and you can find it yourself. So I will count backwards to 3 and you will open your eyes. 3, 2, 1. I like doing these because it's a reminder to me. You know, I sometimes get very, worried because I really want, to help people and for people to feel better. So we're going to move on, and we're going to talk about synchronicity, and then we're going to talk about, yes, aliens, and what's a starseed. So we did the visualization, we did the meditation, we're so lucky that we had Kirsty, Medium Kirsty from the UK, do her own meditation to open to the spirit world. And I thought that that was positive and it was okay. It wasn't anything that was too weird. Okay, so what is synchronicity? Well, let's remind ourselves of who this is. This is Carl Jung, and he was born 1875 to 1961. So synchronicity is the coming together of inner and outer events in a way that cannot be explained by cause and effect, and that is meaningful to the observer. I experience synchronicity especially lately. So synchronicity, I'll tell you what it is like for me. So I will be reading some passage in a book, or someone will be on the phone with me, and then I'll see it, or someone will say it on the television. Or I will be talking to a friend about something, and I'll go into the coffee shop, and someone will be talking about the same subject matter. So that's what synchronicity is. Synchronicity is literally when meaningful coincidence. So Carl Jung, a Swiss analytical psychologist, his idea was that meaningful connections in the world manifest through coincidence. Now we call it the coincidence, and I call it synchronicity. Same thing, right? So how do you create synchronicity? So I have a list here, and I'm going to read that off. And then I'm going to tell you, some ways that I've learned. So creating synchronicity in your life happens when you've recorded your sleeping dreams. I always say, now here's a book about dreams, and this is by someone I've had on a guest before, Lane Dolphin, and she talks about dreams in this book. Now I talk about dreams, and I say you can record your sleeping dreams in a journal like this, just a composition book. So what do? You write down the date, you write down a description or a synopsis and the time, and then you will see is you will see recurring dreams. And what is a recurring dream? A recurring dream is kind of like an episodic film or a TV show. And if you write it down, you'll see it's not the same dream. It's a connection to the last dream. I have my own created a dream journal, which you can get on Amazon. I also talk about dream work. Now, dream work is, so there's what's called dream work. So it's a path to discovering solutions. So essentially what you do is, dream work would be, if you started writing down your dreams in a composition book like this, you might ask yourself before you go to sleep, and you're seeing like, oh my gosh, in every one of my dreams, I don't have any clothes on, or I'm running, or something's chasing me, or I'm stuck with these same people. Dream work is where you ask yourself a question before you go to sleep, like you write it down in your book, and you ask yourself a question about those dreams, and you'll kind of unblock what's going on, or through your dreams you'll receive an answer. So it might be a dilemma that you're experiencing in your real life. You can inquire about questions about your destiny, and you might receive details. You might receive numbers or dates or names. So pay attention to your dreams, because nothing is random. So as everything lines up, you will receive synchronicity. So as you record your sleeping dreams, you will receive synchronicity, which is what's happening to me, which are noticeable events that happen at the same time, having nothing to do with each other. So having a dream journal is essential to creating synchronicity, in my book, what I'm saying. Now here's a list right here if you want to see close up, right? So what does this say? I'll just read it as I'm holding it up because I can see it in the camera. So synchronicity is maybe you're seeing magical numbers. You think of someone who instantly calls or sends you a text message. Oh, this is current if they're saying that. Randomly coming across a product or an answer that solves a problem that you've had, right? This will make sense. You know the timing is right for you. The people or solution you need appear with the solutions in your life. So it's like what Kirsty said about having an intention. So it's like as soon as you open up the channels, you start to ask, you start to receive information. Like, it's funny, I said I need guests, and then all of a sudden I had some of my friends who've been guests give me names of people. Like I have today, Kirsty was a recommendation from Psychic Evelyn, and it's happened in a couple of different instances. So let's see, getting a reassurance message out of the blue, but at the right time. So synchronicity to me is a way to validate that I'm on the right path. And it's like the universe telling me, without telling me, that everything is right. Okay, well, moving on. We're going to talk about, quickly, I just want to say, oh, here's me dreaming, sleeping. Ah, there's Mary sleeping. So I wanted to mention, I talked about a lot of different kind of time travel and wormholes and time machines, but we can ourselves do what's called astral travel. So astral travel is an out-of-body experience, an OBE, which separates soul from your physical body, and you travel outside. And sometimes when you do a lot of meditation work, or visualizations, you're kind of doing astral travel, right? So you travel outside your body throughout the universe, unlimited time and distance. Now, there's what's called lucid dreaming, which is what I had this morning. And it was funny, I had this lucid dream that I was standing and there was a countertop, and then right behind me was Bigfoot. I think I really want to meet Bigfoot. And maybe I had this lucid dream about Bigfoot because I'm having the Bigfoot Hunter Investigator on Thursday's show from, I think it's North Carolina, Rick. Okay, now I'm going to get to aliens, but I wanted to mention, and I know that you know that I talk about sacred knowledge, because we are trying to have 66 days to inner peace and personal serenity. So I say in the beginning of the show, I always talk about sacred knowledge, which is connecting to a light source. And I say that I'm sharing the beautiful glowing light that's in my heart with you. And how do I do that? I say to you, I'm telling you that I'm your friend, that I'm here for you, and that I love you. And I want good things for you. And I want you to have a happy life. And I have a happy life, and I have joy in my heart, and I want you to as well. So if you catch like a little moment of this show, maybe something I've said will resonate with you. And what I want to share with you is, if you get a chance to go down or go to a body of water, go outside when the sun rises or the sun sets. Now, a sunrise, the moment the sun appears on the horizon, symbolizes birth, awakening, hope, a new day, eternal life, afterlife, success. It's all good stuff, right? Completion, romance, love. And sunlight's really good for you. It boosts your mood. It helps with anxiety and stress. You will feel happier, calm, mind and spirit. And also vitamin D. Like, I was missing vitamin D. And last summer I was fine. And then after that I had blood work and I found out that I was really, really low on vitamin D. So I'm now taking vitamin D. And if we can't get out into the sunlight, we need to take that. So it protects your mood changes. Now, a sunset, as the sun disappears below the horizon, symbolizes, which is always good to watch too, ending of the day, romance, twilight, change, transformation, the beginning of darkness, and it's the promise of a new beginning. Watching a sunset relieves stress and worry and is an excuse to see beauty and time and to reset. So I recommend to you to look at a sunrise or sunset sometime this week. It's Monday. Get out there one day. Okay, woo, my favorite subject. What is it? It's aliens. Okay, aliens. Now, Charles Fort, who I mentioned earlier, one of his beliefs in anomaly phenomenon was the extraterrestrial hypothesis. Now, the extraterrestrial hypothesis, ETH, the acronym, proposes that some unidentified flying objects, which used to be called UFOs, we know it's called UAPs, are best explained as being physical spacecraft occupied by extraterrestrial life or non-human aliens or non-occupied alien probes from other planets visiting Earth, which we're also finding out that they travel into and out of the water. So we don't know, is the civilization in the skies on a planet, or is the civilization under the water? Now, I came across in the last couple of weeks some new alien types that I haven't talked about before. So I'm sharing that with you right now. Up-a-dab-a-doo. Okay, so now here's some alien types. If you want to look closely, you can see there's a whole bunch of different alien types on here, and I'm going to show you. The print is so small, can't see, but I find it fascinating that there are so many, and are they living among us? We don't know. Some of my friends believe so. I had Estrella, and I had Peter Hansen on, and I had Mujin. So I guess all of my friends are under the same beliefs that Aliens are living among us, and they have connected. Now, I heard about the Pleiadians. Anna, how do you say it? Pleiadians?
No.
How do you say it?
The way you said it.
Pleiadians?
Please.
Pleiadians. Okay, so they're actually what I found out to be the Nordic alien. And they are humanoid extraterrestrials from the planet Pleiades, known as magical beings. Many humans allege accounts of these extraterrestrial beings. So that, to me, is fascinating. So this is what they look like. They're supposedly, like I've said before, they look like they're from, one of these superhero films. But strangely enough, they are 6 to 7 feet tall, large or long blonde hair, blue eyes, fair skin. Benevolent physical beauty. The Nordic aliens, or Pleiadians, are concerned with world peace, and they appear in dreams, and they meditate. Now, these are also, as my friends have said, star seeds. So they're highly evolved, intelligent, spiritual beings from galaxies, incarnated in a human body, and come to heal darkness. This is Assyrian. Now Assyrian, do I have a couple pictures of Assyrians? I don't think so. So Assyrians, I'm going to hold up like a spacecraft at the same time. So Assyrians are from the planet Sirius, far superior in terms of technology, and they're capable of constructing massive machines powered from plasma. This advanced race may have many types of spacecrafts capable of the travel. Syrians scouted the Earth and established contact with humans. Apparently they've been around quite a while. Now I have to share this again on Thursday because this is not a close-up photo. I know that I've had close-up photos of what they look like, and I know that they have like a star right here, I want to say. And they're very beautiful. All of these aliens are very beautiful. I know we've looked at some of these aliens and we hear about reptilians and they're not very attractive, and then these, but some of these other aliens, these star seed aliens, are absolutely beautiful. Okay, and then last but not least, Andromedan. And so these are energy beings made of plasma, blue or violet. And their mission is to remove all hostile extraterrestrial presence from the Earth. So are these aliens here? Are we able to connect to them? Are we going to meet them? Are they non-humans? Are they humanoids? I don't know. Well, this was lovely, and I'm so glad that everyone joined us. Before we go, I wanted to touch on angels, which is a favorite subject of mine. I wanted to share with you now. I love this painting here, and this is called Angel's Dancing Sun, and it's by Giovanni Di Paolo, and he's an Italian painter. And the reason why I'm obsessed with angels is I feel very connected, and I feel like they're surrounding me and they're guiding me, and I sense that it's the universe, it's divine intervention. And so I want to pay tribute to the angels, and I love the angels. Now, angels are made of light, and we see them in fine arts with halos and wings. And they're believed to be legions of angels, in fact, tens of thousands, even more than 100 million, occupying the realm between heaven and earth. So the angels are traveling from the heavens to earth. And there's 9 ranks of angels. And allegedly, We have guardian angels that guide us and protect us from birth. And there are archangels that have fought evil. And to me, I will share with you my experience and my, I guess, need for angels. So to me, angels represent goodness, and they represent light, and they're positive, because I know that this belief actually takes me to know that if things are tough or not going well in my own inner world or the outer world, that they're on our side. And I found, and I mentioned earlier with Kirsty, that the more that you speak of angels and acknowledge angels, then the more they appear. So there's signs that can surround you to have an angel sign, which might be a feather. You might see a coin. I'm a firm believer that, you know, if you feel a brush across your chin, something, you know, my daughter will say that she hears like kind of like a sound. We always say the angel number 1111, like maybe you'll feel a presence of an angel. Maybe something will brush across the top of your head. You may not feel that you're alone, or maybe you need to ask. I suggest you ask for their presence. So the archangels, Raphael, whose name means God heals, this powerful archangel can help you achieve an inner peace by leading you to more of a state of well-being and bring our planet to a closer place of peace on Earth. So before we go, I'm just going to say that we all have inside of ourselves a way to connect to our inner peace. And so, you know, like, and I guess everybody, since they have a different type of personality, has a need at a different time. And maybe you're not somebody who, you're very an outward type of person, and you don't really rely on having peaceful moments. But then there are times in your life that you're going to need them. So maybe this will just kind of give you an edge that day. And then, of course, there are people that like to spend more time alone and need peace. And so what I'm trying to get at is, if you turn off all your technology, so next time that you have a free moment, turn off all your technology and maybe write these steps down. So I'd like you to close your eyes, and I'd like you to, with your sense of hearing, hear whatever's in the room and beyond the walls. And this works for me. So your feet are firmly on the ground, and you're sensing, using your sense of hearing, auditory sense, what do you hear? And as soon as you connect, then you will gain some stillness. And you don't have to do this for a long time. You can literally do this for 5 or 10 minutes. And that will give you a place to go with sense, and maybe challenge yourself and do this when everything isn't quiet and you're in a group of people, to try to find stillness even in those moments where you're not really in stillness. And I'm telling you this because sometimes everything comes at us and there's so many energies, and we have our own energy field, and there's a lot of electromagnetic fields around us, and you can't think straight. So this might help your thinking straight. So anyway, that was designed to help you know what your stillness is like and your own peace. So thank you for joining me today. It was a joy to be here, and I will be back on Thursday at 2 p.m. from New York. And we will have a guest, a Bigfoot investigator and researcher and hunter from BFRO, which is the Bigfoot website. So thank you for joining us. You can find me on my Facebook page, maryamyofficial.com. My Instagram, I'd love for you to follow me and send me messages. Instagram, Facebook, Mary Amy Official, and my YouTube page, Mary Amy Official. My blessings to you and in honor of my Scottish grandmother, Lucille. Lang me your Lumreek, which means I wish you good luck and good fortune in the future. Be well and have a wonderful week. Take care. Bye. Oh, here's one comment quick. If there are angels, there must be demons too. Kiwa. Yes, there are. Yes, there are. I agree with you, Kiwa. There are, where there is good, of course, you know, good and evil, yin and yang. And there are demons, of course, yes. Okay, everybody, have a wonderful week. Be well. See you Thursday. Bye.